Guys, Julie here at Infinite Modesty Design. We are a Toronto sewing and fashion studio, and we teach you the art of sewing and fashion online. Whether you're a beginner, we have beginner level, or an advanced, we have an advanced level itself, and we teach you the skill that you need to know in your sewing and fashion journey. We also do have an event, so click the link in the description below. You could definitely sign up for our ongoing event. All right, so in this video, we will be showing you how to shorten your zipper. So let's get started. All right, so in this tutorial, I'll just show you how to shorten a zipper. So I had a long zipper here. I actually cut it already. So the long zipper is about 16 inch, 16 and a half, something like that. So what I've done here, I don't want all this long zipper. So I determined how long I want my zipper to be. So I think I wanted about 7 inches up. So because I wanted 7 inches off, I wouldn't cut 7 inches up. I'll cut maybe an inch or 2 inch down. So in this case, I cut about 2 inches below the 7 inches, right? So I already cut this already. So this is just nip, cut it out. Okay, so this is out. Okay, so this was joined in here, as you can tell here, and I cut it out. So I cut this part out. I don't need this part. Okay, so what I've done here, the next thing I've done is I've got some fabric. So you could always go, you don't have to go the amount I've went with here, but let me just tell you what I went with, of course. So I went with 5 inches. So it's 5 inches was my, the length of my fabric, and then the width is about 2.5 inches, right? So 2.5 inches by 5 inches. All right, so 5 inches here, and then I just fold it in half. So as I fold it in half, I do right sides touching right side, so right sides touching right sides, right? So right side touching right side, close it down. Then I go ahead and I mark 1/2 inch down from the top here, and 1/2 inch down from the top here, and then I just sew this down. So this I didn't like you could do 1/2 inch stitch, but I just do 1/4 inch stitch. Like I didn't want a lot of seam allowance here, so I just do 1/4 inch stitch on both sides, and that's how it is. So I have this 1/2 inch leeway here because I would need that part, right? Just like this. Good. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do here now, I'm going to fold this zipper. Now you could fold it exactly up to the 7 inches. So let's say I wanted 7 inches up. You could fold it up to the 7 inches, or you could, fold it just below the 7 inches. So I'm going to just fold it right below my 7 inches, like somewhere around here, right? So I just fold it up, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a pin, and I'm going to pin this down. Okay, so what I'm going to do, by me pinning this down, I'll go on the machine and I will seal this. So I'm just going to go on the machine and sew this across. Or you could also take needle and thread as well. But what I would have to do, you would have to be very careful when you're sewing this, because this is the zipper teeth. So you will have to walk the machine over the teeth couple of times to kind of keep this down. All right, so let's go on the machine now and do this part. I will be right back. Now I will try to walk, and it could be a hard knot at times. Sometimes if you have needle and thread, it's best to kind of just do the needle and thread to kind of keep it down. And of course, guys, there's so many different ways you could shorten a zipper. Some people may have a different method. All right, so this way it could be, if you're a beginner, I would definitely say take needle and thread and try to do this part. Because see how my hands is closed there. As a beginner, you definitely don't want to have your hands too close to the machine. Needle itself, it's not safe, of course. So I'm just gonna go back here. So I keep the pin in. Do not sew with pins in the fabric. As soon as you come close to the pin, you want to take it out for sure. So let me just go ahead and just go back. It's a little bit hard going back. So I would actually hold my back stitch, and I'm not using my feet right now. I'm just using my hands all the way through. My hands and the back stitch to back stitch it. That's pretty much it. Let me see, I hope it's settled nicely. The goal is just to make sure it's settled nicely. So yep, I'm liking it. So I'm gonna do it a couple of times because I really want that place to be nice and tailored, right? So I'm just gonna do it a couple of times. Just to make sure it's nice and tailored. And I think that might be enough. I'll just do a back stitch here. And always when you're doing something, guys, it's always good to get a matching thread. So let's say you're doing this for a customer, a client itself, you get a matching thread, it looks really, really nice. Okay, so this is how it is. So we're gonna go ahead and close it up now. So this is how it is. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna fold it. So I'm gonna turn it around, right? That's what we made earlier. I'm just gonna get something to something to poke it. So it's always good to get a turner or something that you could actually turn your things around. Okay, so once I believe that I've turned it, I poke it out nicely to my satisfaction, of course. You could go ahead and iron this, of course. Yeah, you could definitely do that, but I'm not going to do it in this video. Then this 1/2 inch that I have that is spare here on the side, I would fold it down. Okay, so I would fold it down nicely. Make sure it's all nice and neat. And again, that's where you could actually go ahead and iron it down, right, to make sure it looks really, really neat. So for this tutorial, I wouldn't go on the ironing board and iron, but you could definitely iron it down just to make sure this settle nicely. Okay, so now I'm just gonna pocket this inside here. All right, so with a nice little pocket, make sure it looks nice and pretty. Iron it down nicely. Right, and then I will go on my machine now, and I'm just gonna sew this down, and then we will see the final work. So basically, it's just to take your needle and thread. Or sorry, you could do the needle and thread if you don't have a machine, guys, and you're doing needle and thread. This could be fine, or you could go on the machine and just sew it down. So I'm gonna do on the machine and sew it down and show you the final work. So that's pretty much how it is. All right, so this is how it is here. So you have your new zipper. You could actually put in your garment. You would have this little tail here. But that's okay. Now, if you want to make this, the width of this to be 2 inches instead of 2.5 inches, because there's some little overlap here, you could go ahead and do it. Like I said, try it for the first time, see how you like it, and then you could always go ahead and play around with with this part itself, right? The only thing I don't want you to do is that it's so narrow that the zipper end up folding in, right? And again, when you're on the machine, just make sure you walk that area, the teeth here, to make sure everything is nice and pretty. So I hope this tutorial was helpful. So this is one way that you would actually take a very long zipper, right? And then you could cut it and make it into a zipper that you could actually use for all projects. All right, hope this was helpful. Thanks again. This is Jalise at Infinite Modesty Design. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click the link in the description below to join our free event and eventually get to find out more about our other classes. Take care.